We have talked a lot about habits on this channel, from the formation of good study habits, to building a morning routine, to even building the habit of waking up early in the morning. But there's a theme with a lot of what we've talked about around the topic of habits, and it's that we've talked mostly about daily habits, things that you should do every single day. The thing is, though, there are definitely still other things you should be doing on a somewhat regular basis, but that aren't really feasibly done on a daily basis. So what are those things? Well, that's what I want to cover in this week's video, in which we'll be going over 8 things that you should be doing at least once a week. Now, to be clear, everything on this list doesn't have to be done exactly once a week. You don't need to be tracking it on a calendar, but I think once a week is a good rough estimate to start with, because all of these things are very good to be doing on at least a regular basis. And the first thing that I want to start with here is something that will improve your social life and make your friends and the people that care about you happier as well. And it's to text or call somebody that you haven't talked to in a while at least once a week. A lot of the people that we've spent time with in the past, or even family members, just don't hear from us as much anymore because we kind of fall into our established routines and patterns, and we talk to the same people almost every single day. And I think this is part of the reason why a lot of people feel so lonely. They don't feel as acknowledged as they once were back when we lived in big communities. So if you can build the habit of at least trying to think of somebody you haven't talked to in quite a while and sending them something, it could be even just a nonsense text to acknowledge them and let them know you're thinking about them, they're gonna be a lot happier and they're gonna remember that you care about them. And I think this is something that's very important to do. Weekly habit number 2 is to do an all-out workout, something that leaves you sweating at the end of it and sore the next day. Now, for people who are really active, like me and like some people out there who are probably even more active than me, this might mean every single workout. But a lot of people who are quote-unquote active kind of go to the gym and they go through the motions. And if you do this, this might keep you healthy to a degree, but it won't make you progress. It won't make you actually push the boundaries of your physical fitness. So at least once a week, push yourself. Do something that's really, really challenging and that leaves you sore. And remember that this doesn't have to be just sprinting on the treadmill or going to the gym and lifting weights until your arms want to fall off. This could be something fun. For me, going and doing an all-out workout might mean going to the arcade and playing Dance Dance Revolution on doubles mode. Or it might mean going to the rock climbing gym and trying a route that I haven't been able to do in the past. And even if I'm not able to complete that route, even if I had to throw myself at it again and again and again, I'm gonna make progress. I'm gonna come away sore and I'm gonna be able to do it a little bit better the next time I come in. Habit number 3 is to go and review your productivity system, your task manager, your calendar, your note-taking system, anything of the sort, and clear up any entropy. Now, entropy is a term in science that generally means chaos or descent into chaos as things spread out and become more complicated. And I love using this term for productivity systems because they seem to trend towards the exact same state. As due dates pile up, as things get entered in, as things get kind of messy, it can become disorganized, and the problem is it eventually becomes a poor representation of what actually needs to be done in your life. And the poorer that representation gets, the less your mind trusts it and the more you start relying on your own memory, which of course is faulty. So at least once a week, possibly on a review day at the beginning of the week, go through your systems and make sure everything is cleaned up. Make sure you get rid of that entropy and bring things back into a state of order. That way you are trusting your system and you're actually using it. Habit number 4 is to do a quick financial health checkup, at least once a week. Now, you don't have to go look at your entire financial life every single week. You don't have to look at every single mutual fund, bank statement, everything like that, but it's at least smart to log into your bank accounts, make sure the balance is what you think it should be, log into your credit cards, make sure you don't see any transactions on there that you don't recognize, and just generally check over the state of things. And at least if you live in the US, there are some tools out there that can make this quicker and easier. The one I use is called Personal Capital, but there's one out there called Mint that's very, very similar, and these basically bring in your bank feeds, your investment fund feeds, your credit card feeds, and they will just basically give you a snapshot of your entire financial life, all the transactions that have been made, and the balances of each account. Now, you might think this process is a little bit boring, but if you're like me, if you're not the kind of person who does hardcore budgeting, you're not the kind of person who records every transaction when you buy something, you at least need to stay on top of your financial health. You need to know where you are on a regular basis. Of course, if you are the kind of person who wants to learn how to keep a budget, or you want to learn how to record your transactions, my friend Martin and I actually did a whole podcast episode on budgeting, and you can click the link in the description down below go to listen to that later on if that's interesting to you. Habit number 5 is to plan and lead some sort of high density fun activity with another person. And this is on the list because a lot of us tend to get into ruts with our friends. And these aren't depressive ruts, these aren't sad ruts, but we tend to get into patterns of behavior where we do sort of the same kind of fun things all the time. Maybe we play video games together, maybe we go to movies together. And this is all well and good, this is interaction with friends, but it's not high density fun. It's not the kind of fun that actually builds memories. And the thing is that when we get older, a lot of people slide into patterns of behavior that cause them to fail to plan things. It causes them to not be the leader, not take initiative to plan really cool things. So I'm gonna make the suggestion that you become the leader. You become the kind of person who plans these things. And if you're doing this once a week or around the same kind of time interval, then you're gonna be making a regular improvement in the lives of your friends and in your own life as well. Habit number 6 is to create something at least once a week that's not done out of obligation. And the reason I put that qualifier on there is that a lot of students or people that have creative jobs are creating things on a weekly or daily basis. But a lot of times it's because they were assigned or that other people are expecting them to do that. And while that kind of work can still be creatively fulfilling, it's not the same as just exploring something on your own and doing something purely for your own enjoyment. So in my case, creating YouTube videos doesn't really fit the criteria here. Yes, I do get fulfillment out of it. I really enjoy doing it, but I am doing it as my job. And at this point, I've been doing it for long enough that there's an audience expectation for me to do it. So I want to have something else on the side as well. And for me, at least right now, that's playing guitar. Almost every night, I make up something new on my guitar, and that is really fulfilling to me. That actually improves my life. So whether or not you have a job that's creative or artistic, or whether or not you're in a program in your school that lets you do things that are creative, have something on the side at least once a week that kind of feeds that curiosity, that lets you explore on your own, purely just for you. Habit number 7 is to do something once a week completely alone. Now, a lot of you might think that you already do a lot of things alone, and in that case, this tip may not be for you, but for a lot of people, they spend most of their time around other people, whether it be roommates or a significant other or friends. And when you do this, you don't get a whole lot of time to just think, to be with your own thoughts, or to explore something purely because only you want to explore it. When you're constantly spending time with a significant other or with friends, there's a lot of compromise involved. But if you take at least a little bit of time every single week to do something purely because you want to do it alone, then you continue to be your own person. You continue to generate your own thoughts and you generate your own stories that you can then take to your interactions with friends or with a girlfriend or a boyfriend and tell to them. Finally, habit number 8 is to improve some existing process in your life at least once a week, even if it is by the tiniest of margins. And I put this idea on the list because I am an ardent believer in the principle that there is always a better way to do something. This is one of the driving principles that I try to live by. And honestly, this isn't a once a week thing for me. I'm always on the lookout for things that I can improve that I do every single day, because I think there's always some little tweak or change to my processes that I can make that would make things more efficient or make them easier or even make them more fun to do. For instance, one of the big regular tasks in my life is editing these videos, or at least working with an editor to get them done. And part of the planning process for doing an edit is creating a list of what's called B-roll, basically everything that goes on top of this talking head layer, all the pictures, all the animations, all the stock footage, all that kind of stuff. And for quite a while, we've used this really powerful tool called Notion to create a spreadsheet that helps us to filter and organize all of this B-roll, which helps us to batch the creation of it, batch the gathering of it, and do all kinds of really cool stuff. And for probably 10 or 20 weeks, we used the exact same setup to do this. But then last week I had an idea. I actually added a new checkbox to our B-roll spreadsheet called Premiere. And the reason I did this is that we do about half of our B-roll editing in a program called Adobe Premiere, which is for video editing, and we do the other half in a program called After Effects, which is where we do all the motion graphics and animations. And before I added this checkbox, the only way we would sort the B-roll list was by timestamp. So when it came time to actually bring all the B-roll into the video and place it, we would have to go line by line down that spreadsheet and make a decision for every single item. Does this go in Premiere or does this go in After Effects? But by adding the checkbox, we were able to create a filter so we could only show the items that go in Premiere or only show the items that go into After Effects. And that basically just removed the decision for every single piece of B-roll. Now, admittedly, this is a pretty small change to our workflow, but it's a change that removes mental work, that removes a decision every single time we want to place a picture or a piece of footage or an animation. And that happens a lot. Additionally, that is just one small change over many that have been made over the years. And as with anything, if you make small changes over time, eventually they accumulate and the results can be pretty big. And actually, that's been one of the driving principles ever since I started this YouTube channel about 4 years ago. Every single time I make a video, I'm looking for at least one tiny element in my workflow or in the way that I light things or in the way that I speak to this camera that I can improve, so over time, the entire product improves. So start trying to be a little bit more observant in the way that you work, or even in the way that you commute to work, or in the things that you do at home, like the way that you cook or do your laundry. Because if you can start making small improvements in any of these areas, you're gonna start seeing greater results. To give you just one more example, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you probably know that I haven't done a video sitting on this set in this chair for quite a while. And if I show you some footage from the last time I did a video like this, you'll probably notice that the lighting and the color grading doesn't look nearly as good. And that's because since then, I've worked hard every single week to make sure I'm lighting my shots just a little bit better and doing my color grading just a little bit better as well. And the improvements, at least to my eyes, have been substantial. And if you're somebody who also wants to make videos someday, or if you have your own YouTube channel, then you probably know how important lighting is as well, and how difficult it can be. Now for me, there's been a lot of trial and error and experimentation, and of course I am still not perfect at it, especially when it comes to lighting shots that aren't done in this room. But luckily there are experts out there who can help you learn these skills much more quickly, such as Jordy Vandeput, who has an entire course on lighting for video over on Skillshare. Throughout his course, you'll learn the fundamentals of how to properly light a shot, how to deal with background lighting, how to deal with colors and lighting, and if you are a video creator, you might want to check out some of his other courses, such as his course on how to edit video with Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the software that I actually use to edit these videos. And beyond that, you're also going to find over 25,000 courses in Skillshare's library, all built from the ground up to help creatives enhance their skills, boost their curiosity, and improve their career prospects as well. Within that library, you're going to find courses on graphic design, on music production, on business and marketing, on storytelling, and all of their courses have a focus on active learning, featuring projects that you can sink your teeth into immediately, and a discussion section where you can get feedback and ask questions with both the teacher and other students as well. And the best part is, if you are one of the first 500 people to click the link in the description down below and sign up, you're gonna get 2 free unlimited months of learning on Skillshare. So click that link, sign up, and start learning today, because you can learn a lot in 2 months. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and as always, huge thanks to you guys for watching. Hopefully you found this video useful, and if you did, definitely give it a like to support this channel. You can also subscribe right there if you want to get new videos every single week on this channel, or click right over there to get a free copy of my book on how to earn better grades. You can also follow me on Instagram over at Tom Frankly, and last but not least, you can get one more video on this channel by clicking right here, or smashing your face into your phone screen. That works too. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in next week's video.